Thank you, Anne. We're so happy everybody took time out of their day to join us. So we will forego SDSU introductions until we get to the presentation. We don't want to take up too much time with that. I am Erin Togerson. I'm the project manager for this initiative, and I'm going to hand it over to Casey Rothenberger, our executive director, who will take you through the PowerPoint. Afterward, there will be room for plenty of questions and answers. So thank you again for attending, and Casey, if you will.
Thanks, Erin. Hi, everybody. Good morning. As Erin mentioned, I'm Executive Director for New Program Development at SDSU World Campus. Today, we're happy to have you all here and going to go through the slides and give a little bit of information about the structure of the program, how it works, some of the additional services, and then leave time for everybody to ask some questions from us. So a couple of things we wanted to highlight. This program provides additional access to high quality SDSU education without having to set foot on any SDSU or Mesa campus, but while also providing optional on-site tutoring and success advising that will be both virtual and on-site at Mesa. So for these programs, we know that SDSU is severely impacted, and there are a number of qualified students that want to earn their bachelor's degree from SDSU, but from space availability basis, there's just not an option to accommodate everybody. So we've launched, SDSU has launched this pilot microsite program with Mesa College to offer our Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration online to inform Mesa College students. This is a fully online program with, again, those optional on-site services I mentioned, such as tutoring and success advising. But students can earn the entire degree while never having set foot on any campus, but still have the availability of the SDSU services. I just wanted to highlight the excitement from our President Adelaide Torre, from SDSU. When she came to SDSU about 2 years ago, one of her primary goals was to really increase access to our local students. And so with her help and support, we're really excited to launch this pilot program. In fall 20, we're launching with Mesa and Southwestern to support the respective students that attend those colleges. So a little bit of information about the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. I wanted to highlight that this program is the exact same program, exact same content and curriculum that students in the face-to-face program experience, just delivered in the online modality. It's utilizing the same Fowler College of Business faculty and instructors, the same content, the same courses. The degree earned after completing these courses is exactly the same as those that earn or go through the program on the face-to-face side, meaning it doesn't have any mention that the program was completed online. It doesn't state World Campus anywhere on the degree. It is a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, the same exact diploma and degree earned by our face-to-face students. It can be completed, sorry, one more, go back 1 second, Erin. The program can be completed in as few as 49 units or as many as 55 units. And the difference there is dependent on your score on the writing placement assessment. So students, depending on the score, may have to take 1 or 2 writing courses that are offered as well online. And upon I mentioned the degree is the exact same, and the tuition and fee cost is $450 per unit. So one difference with this program is that the cost is the same for all students regardless of how many units they take per semester, the total cost, versus the face-to-face program. It's one semester price if you're enrolling in 12 units or more, and a different price if you're enrolling in fewer than 12 units. With the online program, it will cost the same regardless of how long it takes to complete the program. So you have the option of completing it in 2 years, that's kind of the standard, or you can take more courses, complete it faster, or fewer courses and take longer depending on your life circumstances. If you're working full-time, or taking care of a family or have other obligations, and you need to take longer than 2 years, that option's available. It'll still cost you the same amount as if you were to complete it in 2 years or even fewer than 2 years. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Tanya, who manages our admissions process.
Good morning, everyone. As Casey mentioned, I'm Tanya. I'm the supervisor of admissions and evaluations for World Campus, and I will be going over our transfer admission requirements, eligibility, and the application process. So up first, we have our transfer admission requirements. If you haven't already done so, we do highly encourage you to visit our website that's linked here for more information on the admission requirements, deadlines, and steps on how to apply. Our transfer admission requirements consist of a combination of CSE criteria as well as program-specific criteria. Excuse me. So to start off, students must have 60 or more transferable semester units, 90 or more quarter units completed. The required GPA based on the program, which is a minimum of 2.75 for our business administration general program. Completion of lower division GE with a grade of C- or higher to include the Golden 4 requirements, which are Area A1, oral communication, A2, written communication, A3, critical thinking, and B4, quantitative reasoning. As well as completion of lower division preparation for the major requirements. Our business program has a total of 9 preparation courses. The 9 preparation courses are as follows: financial accounting, managerial accounting, macro and microeconomics, information systems, business writing and rhetoric, business statistics, business calculus, and legal environment of business. I do want to point out, excuse me, if you are taking, if you have our business calculus, Math 120, sorry, requires completion of Math 116 and Math 121 for Mesa College. So these 2 courses are required in order to be deemed equivalent to our Math 120. So if you choose to do the equivalent of our Math 120, you would be essentially doing 10 courses instead of the 9, or you can choose to do our calculus Math 150. I do also want to point out that Fowler College of Business has approved flexibility on the preparation for the major, allowing students to have a minimum of 6 out of the 9 preparation courses completed or in progress at the time of application. If all other requirements have been met, and with the contingency that students complete the remaining requirements, the remaining preparation courses before graduation at SDSU. We highly encourage you to visit our online resources to determine how transfer coursework can be used to meet our SDSU general education and major preparation course requirements. We have these linked on our website as well as here. These are some great resources to use: Transfer Admission Planner, which includes course equivalency information for colleges and universities throughout the United States, our SDSU General Catalog, as well as our Assist website. Next slide, please. Thank you. We have received a lot of questions regarding ADT, and students often worry if they haven't completed an ADT or have not yet completed or on track, if they can apply for the program. The answer is yes. An ADT is not an admission requirement for the program. However, applicants who do earn an ADT from Mesa College in Business Administration are better prepared to meet SDSU World Campus admission requirements, and those requirements are CSU eligibility, so the general education to include the Golden 4, our minimum unit requirement of 60 or more transferable semester units, our minimum overall GPA of at least 2.0 in all CSU transferable coursework, the preparation for the major courses, GPA, again, the GPA is required is based on the program. In this case, is the 2.75. However, applicants using the ADT pathway for admission may be within that 0.1 of the grade point average required by the major to which they are applying, meaning you get that extra 0.1 bump if you do have the, and if you're in the ADT pathway. The Mesa College degree major, Business Administration, is the SDSU approved major equivalent to our Business Administration general degree. As far as Microsite eligibility, to qualify for the Microsite program, applicants must have completed a degree or attended Mesa College. So you don't have to, again, you don't have to have an ADT or an associate's from Mesa College to be eligible. You can have courses from other community colleges. As long as you've attended Mesa College and you apply, you meet the requirements, you'll be eligible for the program. So the application period is March 16th through May 30th. And how to apply, again, all of these steps are listed on our website, but the first step would be to fill out our Microsite interest form if you haven't already done so, and this will allow us to identify you as an applicant of our Microsite program. It'll allow us to flag you internally as such, as well as the next step would be to fill out the Cal State Apply application. When you fill out the application, make sure you select the term that you're applying for, and when asked for a major, you select the correct program, in this case, the Business Administration General Extension Online Program. A $70 non-refundable application fee is required of all applicants at the time of application. Admission decisions are initially based on self-reported information provided via Cal State Apply. You must provide complete and accurate information on your application. Any misreporting will jeopardize an admission offer. And we ask that students not send transcripts unless you are offered admission. So when initial decisions, again, are based on the information that you first self-report. At that point, we'll review, determine if you have met the admission requirements. We will offer admission, and you will be sent instructions on how, where to send transcripts, all of our deadlines. At that point, we will review your transcripts to make sure that what you self-reported is accurate. So if you've already applied to SDSU, we often get questions like these as well. If you applied to SDSU to an on-campus program, were denied, and wish to be reconsidered for an online program, you need to submit a program change form to SDSU World Campus and email the form to admission.world@sdsu.edu. It's likely if you are in this scenario, you would have received an email from SDSU already with the link to the form. If you have not and fall under this category, you can email us again at admission.world, and we will provide the program change form as well as with the steps on how to complete the form and the process. If you are an admitted applicant to the on-campus program that wishes to switch to the online program, you will need to submit an appeal to the main campus SDSU Office of Admissions. So this is separate from our World Campus admissions. SDSU Offices of Admissions is on main campus, and part of that appeal, you will have to submit the following documentation: an undergraduate appeal request form, as well as an appeal letter outlining why you want to switch from the on-campus program to the online program, and transcripts. Again, here's the link to the appeal process. All of the form and all of the steps are linked on our main campus SDSU website. And here's our SDSU contact information. If you have any admission related questions, World Campus admissions can be emailed at admission.world@sdsu.edu. Here's my direct email as well as phone number if you have any questions. We have a link here to our program website outlining all of the SDSU at Mesa College program details. And if you have any program specific related questions, we ask that you contact Mark G, our Student Services Coordinator, and his information is down here below. And lastly, we have Ann Hedigan, the counselor at Mesa College. Her information is here as well. She is our point of contact from Mesa College. And now we will be opening it up for questions.
I was just going to say, if students have questions, like you could, if you feel more comfortable putting them in the chat, or maybe like you could raise your hand and then unmute yourself if you prefer to just ask it verbally. I was just also going to say, if anybody is still applying, in the process of applying, there's a tutorial on the San Diego Mesa website, and I'll post it in the chat. And the sticky point that a lot of students have, if you haven't used the CSU application before, is that one of the first questions when you get in, you start your profile, it asks you if you're going to have less than 60 units or more than 60 units. At this point, all of you guys would be considered an upper division transfer student. So you would click 60 or more, or you would do the ADT. So that is the one area that people who have applied already have had like kind of a tough situation with, and we had to like go back. And I'm going to put the video tutorial in this group chat, like the link. So I see some questions in there, and I'll mute myself so the SDSU folks can answer.
I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
So at one point when I got my degree, which was about last year, I had the ADT from Mesa. In the meantime, I have moved to Texas. My question is this still available for me to do it with you guys, or is it not because I'm out of state?
It is still available to you. The program is entirely online, so you would not need to come to any campus.
Okay.
So as long as you meet the admissions eligibility requirements and are admitted to the program, you'd be able to complete your degree from Texas. And Tanya, please correct me if I misstated anything.
No, that is correct, Casey.
Thank you. Tanya, there's a question from Jesus. What if I have previously been disqualified from SDSU in the past due to, oh, sorry, it went away, due to bad grades and want to apply? Can you address that question?
Yeah, so that would depend. There's a lot of factors. If you were disqualified from an on-campus program, so our on-campus programs, I'm not sure if that's where you're at, but on-campus programs are different from our online programs. So if that's the case, you would have to contact, we'd have to look at your record. We'd have to contact main campus to see where you're at, why you were disqualified, specifically what courses, and go from there. So at that point, I would encourage you to email our admission department so we can look at your record specifically. There's just a lot of scenarios at that point.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, I have a question. I am highly interested in the online courses. My major is business management with emphasis of human resource. Now, will the emphasis of HR prevent me from doing my courses online? Or is this like a kind of a different program? Because I guess the emphasis will emphasize more on HR.
You'd have to look at your exact courses that you're covering, and do they satisfy the business administration pre-major coursework? So without seeing your exact courses, it'd be hard to advise you on if you satisfy those minimum major prereq courses. But as long as you satisfy the major prereq courses and meet the admission requirements, then you would be eligible. So I'm wondering, Tanya and Mark, how we can get Rachel to know if she's satisfied those requirements with her existing coursework.
I had a quick question for Rachel. Like, are you asking if you do this, like your main interest is human resources, and you're wondering if you would be able to like explore those interests within this online degree? Or if you got this degree, would you still be able to work in HR?
Well, that's what I signed up for with SDSU was business management with the emphasis of human resource. And I'm wondering if this is the same courses.
No, this is correct me if I'm wrong, Casey, but it's like general business. I mean, I think there's always that opportunity to like with an internship, and I know SDSU also has like an HR certificate, which a lot of HR people go on and get additional. I think there's just a lot of ways you can do a program online and still have those career goals met, but I'm gonna mute myself. So.
Sure, and then Dr. Joe Belch is also on the call. He's Senior Associate Dean from the Fowler College of Business. So Joe, I'll turn to you in a second. The core courses are the same for all business majors, and then there's additional courses that are specific to this general business administration program. Dr. Belch, is there anything you would want to add to Rachel's question?
Well, what I'd add, it is a degree in general business. There are no real specializations or minors, but in terms of her particular question, you will take several management courses. You'll take a human resources course, you would take a negotiation course. So while it wouldn't be exactly the same, I think some of the areas that you might take if you actually pursued a management degree, it would be fairly close. But again, it is a general business degree, as Annie noted, and There are no minors or specializations within it at this particular time.
Okay, thank you.
I see another question. Oh, sorry, Tanya.
I see a question from Adam
Go ahead.
Pecker. When will we know we have been accepted to the program? So Adam, that it depends. I'm not sure what scenario you in. Did you is this a first time application? Did you apply to SU? Were denied? I think there's different answers depending on what your situation is. If you're an admitted applicant to on campus trying to switch to online and going through the appeal process in main campus, that would take longer. So I think it would be best if you can either email me or admissions so we can talk about that to see what your situation is. Just because again, there's so many different scenarios right now where we have students. You know, it's going to affect technically the time for an admission notice depending on where you're at.
And there's another question from Samara to please explain the writing requirements. So every student, once in the semester in which they achieve upper division, need to sit and take the writing placement assessment. And that determines, the score on that assessment determines if you need to take 1, 2, or 0 additional writing courses. So that's the difference in the number of units needed to complete the program. If you receive a score of 10 on that placement assessment, no additional writing courses are needed. If you receive a score of 8, you need to take 1 upper division writing course. And if you receive a score lower than 8, you need to take 2 additional writing courses. So that 6 units variance between the 49 units and the 55 units is determined by your score on that, that assessment. I hope that answers your question, Samara.
I have a question.
Sure.
I was curious as far as this being an online, is it going to be pretty standard to what other online courses at a college would be, or is this going to be where it's like live lectures or videos that were recorded by the professor, something along those lines?
Great question. Dr. Belch, I'll take a stab at this and then please feel free to fill in. So the courses are designed and delivered in 8-week blocks. And so each week is a different module of content. And then there are deliverables within the 8-week blocks that students must meet. But the lectures and the videos are delivered asynchronously, meaning you do not need to log in at a certain time and day each week. You can complete the assignments and the coursework as it fits into your schedule as long as you're meeting the due dates. So you're not needing to log in, for example, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. You can complete the coursework or watch the videos and the lectures at 2 a.m. after you're getting home from work, or at 7 in the morning, whatever fits your life needs.
Okay, and can I piggyback on that real quick, because I just had 2.
Sure.
The second one was, if help would be needed, I did read that the support would be, like if I'm coming from Mesa, the support would, if I were to go on campus, would be on Mesa campus, otherwise emailing the professor directly.
Correct, yep. And yeah, so the professor and the facilitators are available to support you virtually for your classes, and then as well as the success advisors and the tutors are available both virtually and in person at Mesa.
At Mesa. Okay.
And those are all opt-in, so you don't need to take advantage of those services, but they are available.
Oh, and then a reminder, I remembered Proctor, something about having to go somewhere for the exams. We have to go on site somewhere when we're taking a test, is that right?
As of right now, and this is if you apply and are admitted for fall 20, the writing placement assessment has been waived, which is something I should have mentioned earlier.
Okay.
Is that's new due to COVID for the fall 20 admission. But to my knowledge, all assessments are done virtually, but there are some courses and some assessments that require a Respondus monitor or a browser lockdown feature. And maybe Dr. Belch can speak a little bit to that, but I do not believe you need to attend any tests in person.
No, that's correct, Casey. We use the Respondus lockdown browser system for actually taking exams. The only thing that would require you to either come on campus or to a remote testing site is for that WPA exam. That's the only thing that is administered by San Diego State, or if you live out of the area, you would have to make arrangements to take it somewhere. But again, as Casey said, it will be waived for the fall, but once we get back to normal, that would be reinstated. So if you did end up entering in the fall, you would want to look at what the situation is regarding that writing requirement exam, and possibly even take the writing course, the upper division writing course earlier to get that out of the way. And you wouldn't have to worry about the first one.
I see a question in the chat that I don't know if we've answered yet. If I apply to the program now and get accepted, can I wait a couple of semesters to take the course? At this point, no. Students should apply for the term in which they intend to enroll in the courses. So if you know that you're not going to be able to enroll in the fall, don't apply now, because at that point you would have to reapply when you are ready to enroll. There's no admission deferment at this time.
Casey, if I could add to that, I think it was mentioned, but just as a reminder, there is a fall admission and a spring admission. Unlike the main university where you just come in once a year, you could apply in August and begin the program actually in January. So that's an option that's available if you're not ready to go in the fall. And in fact, I would encourage, if you still have a few prep for the major courses outstanding, I would encourage you to finish those in the fall and then consider entering in the spring. And you would apply in August to do so.
Thank you.
I have a question if
Sure, Shane.
that's possible. So I have my associates for transfer through Mesa. I believe I got it in 2018, maybe somewhere around there. I'm currently working on the application, but I'm not sure on the previous education portion. You mentioned that you did not need transcripts until actually accepted into the program.
Correct, Shane. Yes. So you, the initial admission decisions are based on the information that you self-report. So often students, what they do is they request an unofficial transcript from their institution, a copy, just so they can reference that as they're filling out the application. But we don't need the actual physical transcript sent to us. That's only required until an admission decision is offered.
Okay, so I can use the unofficial transcripts to fill out the application accurately.
Correct.
And then send in the transcripts once I'm approved. Now you said the application deadline for fall is the 30th, so 2 days?
May 30th, correct.
Okay.
And can I just say, Shane, you do have to do the transcript entry in the application. So you're gonna need your unofficial transcript or access to, your records, and input all of those classes in the transcript entry portion. So you're putting in your unofficial transcript, self-reported, and then when they accept you, then you send that final that transcript. So just to clarify, and then there's the tutorial that's way up in the chat that you can watch about the application, because it's pretty cumbersome. So if you get stuck anywhere, you can always email me or check out the video, and you can move the screen along into the different portions. But in the video, we kind of troubleshoot all the areas where it gets sticky.
Yeah, I've watched the video, and like I said, I got most of the way through the application. It was coming down to the specific dates that I took specific classes, because I attended Cuyamaca, Mesa, Miramar, so I kind of scattered all over the place, and I want to be accurate with the information that I provide.
Yeah, well, so you do have to mention all those schools, and then traditionally CSU Apply asks you to put City, Mesa, and Miramar separately, and then you by dates of attendance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I see some questions in the chat about the services that are available as being an SDSU student. I think the SDSU team's been answering as well, but just in case people aren't able to keep up with the chat, I wanted to clarify that through this program, students will have access both digital and in person to the SDSU library and the library resources and materials. So you can come onto the SDSU campus, or you can utilize those resources through your SDSU ID electronically and virtually. Students also have access as being an SDSU student to SDSU athletic events and sporting tickets, the SDSU bookstore, and other optional services as well. The program is eligible for financial aid. There are some restrictions as there are at Mesa regarding the number of units that you need to take to be eligible for financial aid. So students will need to take a minimum of 12 units per term to be eligible for full-time financial aid, and at least 6 units per term for part-time financial aid. So we schedule out the courses so that students have the option to take 12 units per term to make sure that they're financial aid eligible. And that's so the full semester term is 16 weeks. But again, they run in 2 8-week blocks or 2 6-week blocks during the summer. And so the schedule is designed so that way students are able to be financial aid eligible should they need financial aid. I see some other questions. Will this program be available in the future? Yes. Like I said, fall admission as well as spring admission. And so we plan to keep rolling admissions for every fall and spring. Trying to scroll through these chats and see if there's any other questions we've missed. But if anybody else has any other questions, feel free to speak up now, and I'll be happy to answer them.
I was just going to mention for the students too, I get this question a lot, like, what does my diploma look like? And I don't know if you addressed that, Casey, because I got a lot of other questions on Teams and email. But your diploma is going to be a SDSU diploma. It's going to be just like somebody who went on campus. And that's like really the beauty of this program, because you can access your professors face-to-face at Mesa. You don't have to deal with, you can stay in our little comfort zone, but your degree is going to be, as far as quality and like when you present it, same thing as if you were face-to-face. So.
Yep, it is the exact same courses, exact same requirements as the face-to-face degree. It doesn't mention online on your diploma anywhere. It doesn't mention World Campus anywhere on your diploma. It's the exact same that you would receive if you were to complete the courses face-to-face on campus.
I have another question, Christina here. As far as the WPA or the written exam and inquiring about how that would be different due to COVID, who or where are we reaching out to for that?
If you were admitted for fall 20, it's waived for everybody that's admitted for fall 20. So you would not need to enroll in any, you would only, I believe, Dr. Belch, enroll in the upper division writing course. But the lower division writing course would be available to you if you wanted to brush up on your writing skills. So if you felt comfortable, you could enroll in the upper division writing course. But you could also enroll in the lower division if you wanted to brush up and make sure that you're prepared.
Okay, so if I were submitting my application tonight or tomorrow, that would essentially mean that I wouldn't be in the fall, right? It would
would be. So the admissions or the applications that are currently open are for fall 20 admission.
Okay.
So you would, if you are admitted for this term, you would be waived from taking that assessment.
Okay. It's a $70 enrollment, sorry.
No, if I can add to that, we would offer that upper division writing course during the fall. So a good strategy could be to come in and take the course right away while that waiver for the first writing course was in effect. And that would save you having to take a course and also save you the fees associated with that 3-unit course.
Is there any sort of counseling or mapping roadmap outside of just the outline where we're meeting with a counselor or kind of making it specific to what our goals are?
Yes, there on the Business Administration degree completion webpage, there is a suggested map of courses to take each term and each block to complete within 2 years. And that's kind of like the standard there is the 2 years, but you'll see what courses are offered in every term. So you can work with your success advisor to map out, or you do it yourself if you feel comfortable, to map out your completion plan. So that shows you what courses are offered every semester. So that way, you know, if you want to say you are coming in fall and you know you want to be done by summer 22, I guess would be the 2 year, you can see exactly which courses you need to take in which terms to complete the program. And then if you want it goes longer, you can also map it out that way.
You mentioned a success advisor. At what point would we be introduced to that person?
Upon admission and once enrollment period begins.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
In the chat, do the online programs calendar follow the campus calendar, including vacation times? And to my knowledge, yes, it does.
It's a little bit different, actually, because they do follow the semester terms, but the start and end dates vary slightly. And it is a little bit of an intensive program to allow students to complete all the units within the 2 years. So the term dates align for the most part, but the actual course start and end dates vary slightly.
Are the vacations the same, Casey?
No, not necessarily, because those start and end dates vary.
I saw Zulma, you had your hand up.
Yes, this is actually a question for you, Anne. If we're not sure where we are at in regards to being able to transfer, are you the main point of contact to just double check everything? Can we set up a you can email or something?
Yeah, I'll put we're using a Google Voice phone number right now, and you can call and set up an appointment with me. So I'll put that in the chat.
Perfect.
All righty, very good.
Thank you.
Let's see.
One other thing, this recording and the slides will be available both on the Mesa College website and the SDSU World Campus Microsite website as well. So if you're missing any of the answers or questions, it'll be posted for you on both web pages, and you can always refer back. And then you have the contact information there as well.
Question regarding the terms. You said this is a 8-week block courses. Is that what?
2 8-week blocks in the fall and 2 8-week blocks in the spring, and then 2 6-week blocks in the summer.
So it is a summer courses as well to be able to complete the program within the 2 years.
Correct.
Okay.
I have just something that might help students envision, like how the online, like how many hours a week, I guess this would be Dr. Belch, should students plan for each course? Like that they should commit to each course per week.
Well, I would probably use as a guideline what they're doing right now for any 3-unit class. There are a few courses that are 1 unit, which would take a little less time, but you're going to probably have several hours of videos to watch every week. And then of course your reading and preparation time. It's going to vary a little bit by course. Some courses will have a lot more like assignments, problem sets and things, accounting, finance. Other courses might just be more primarily based on exams, which would happen every few weeks. So you're going to see some variation, but use the same guidelines that you do right now for your 3-unit classes. Assume that you're going to have probably several hours, at least 3 hours of videos to watch every week, and then maybe some participation in chat rooms and your reading assignments.
And on the people who received their associates or their degree a while ago, does any of that expire? Like, would I have to retake any courses, or should I be able to transfer all the courses that I've taken directly into the program?
How long ago, Shane?
I want to say 2018, maybe 2017. I'd have to look.
No, you should be fine there.
Okay.
Only time prereqs are required usually, or if you're like a science STEM person and like their time, like, you know, 7 years. But business, well, I don't know. But I would think, like Dr. Belch said, 2018-19.
Yeah, we just have a few courses. If you went way back, I mean, we would look at things like information systems,
Yeah.
courses like that, where believe it or not, we've had a few students who applied and it was pre-internet days and wanted to know if they could use their information system courses. And there we had to draw the line.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the chat or from any individuals here that want to speak up that we've missed?
Somebody asked about 2016. I would think yes. Same as the 2018-19, right? The courses.
Yes, should be good.
Okay, Marianne has some specific SDSU questions about, she already has her ADT. Is it, I'm just curious, is it in business, Marianne? Is it an ADT in business? Okay. I think like, I'm just gonna, another thing we find with the ADT in business, because you have the option to take Math 116 or Math 121. And in the PowerPoint at the beginning, it talked about how you needed to have the Math 121 or states SDSUs like Math 120. So you know, that's a class, if you didn't have one or the other, because your ADT only required one, you're gonna have to make sure you get that class.
I have to take that before getting accepted to the program, the other math class.
I think that would be like Casey and Aaron. I mean, because of the availability of classes, you know, with summer being limited and cross enrollment being full, I don't know, Casey and Aaron, like how you're going to handle that. And Tanya, I don't know.
Tanya, can you go address that?
Yeah, so if I understood the question correctly, Marianne, so you have an additional calculus course that you need to take?
Yeah, because when I took the courses to complete my associates for transfer, the counselor said the 2 math classes, I didn't have to take both. So I only took statistics, not calculus. But to get accepted to this program, I would need both math classes.
So you can still, if you meet all of the CSU requirements, as I mentioned previously, earlier in the presentation, there is flexibility in the prep for the major. So if you're just missing that one calculus course, you can still be admitted to the program as long as you meet all of the other requirements, although you will have to complete that calculus course at some point before graduation. So that'll be up to you as to when you complete it. But if that's the only thing you're missing, I would still encourage you to apply. It's likely that you still would be admitted to the program.
Okay. So I completed my associates in 2018 and applied to SDSU. Not for this, but I think for the 2019, and I didn't get accepted. Does that, I don't need to fill out any of those applications to reapply if denied, right? That was said on the PowerPoint.
So if you applied for fall 2020 admission for on campus and were denied, and now you're interested in our online program, Microsite, you don't have to reapply. You don't have to pay the $70 again. Instead, you should have received, or you can email us. You'll have to fill out a program change form. And basically what that does is allowing your on-campus application to be switched to online. At that point, we will review it and we'd let you know if you're eligible for the program. So yes, if you applied for fall 2020 on campus, were denied, you don't have to reapply again. You don't have to pay the fee again.
Okay, and then I just had one last question. So I was put on, I went to SDSU straight out of high school back in 2004, and I went for 1 semester and I was put on academic probation. Does that, and I think that's why I didn't get accepted in 2019, but does that affect admissions for this online program?
So we will look at your individual record as long as you meet the requirements and you have a minimum of 2.0 SDSU GPA and you meet the requirements, you should be fine. But again, at the time of application, we'll review your record. We check to see if any student has taken any SDSU coursework, what their GPA is, and we take all of that into account in the admission decision.
For SDSU GPA, not Mesa GPA?
For SDSU GPA, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I was just going to mention too, for some of you guys, I saw some questions about the application fee. That's $70. Some of you guys will qualify for a fee waiver, and it depends on how you answer your questions. And you'll find out at the end if you have to pay the fee. And then I was also going to clarify your question, Marianne. Like you mentioned, you applied in fall of, like when you applied, was it for fall of 19 or fall of 20?
It was for admissions to fall 2019.
Oh, okay, so
reapply.
Yeah.
So
And then
only if, yeah, correct, Anne. Only if you apply for fall 2020, but if it's fall 2019, you would have to reapply.
Right. Okay.
And then Daniel has a very good question about that writing.
I was just responding to him in the chat, but it's probably good for me to respond to everybody. So Daniel's question is, the WPA is waived for fall 2020. If accepted, will you need to take the WPA at a later time? The answer is no. So the WPA is waived for anybody who's admitted in fall 20. So if you are admitted in fall 20, you will need to take the upper division writing course only. I think what Dr. Balch was saying earlier was that if you want to take WPA at a later time, you can test out of that upper division writing course potentially. If you think you are going to get a score of 10. Otherwise, you can simply take the upper division course and meet your all writing requirements.
Thank you.
Sure. And then there was a question about, and Tanya, I'm going to turn this to you. I think it was an emailed question. There are 3 sister colleges with Mesa. Students who have some Mesa classes, but are the majority, students have some Mesa classes, but the majority of their units come from City College or Miramar. Can those students apply for the Mesa microsite?
Yes, they can. So if you've taken some courses at Mesa, right now, most of students applying have taken for the majority classes at Mesa, but there is no specific unit requirement they have to have completed at Mesa to be eligible for Microsite. So you can have courses from other community colleges as long as you've completed at the very least a course. We haven't came across that situation, but if you've attended courses at Mesa, you are eligible to apply for the program.
I think that could be most of the students in San Diego County.
Yeah.
Let's see. I was just going through the chat just to see if there's like more application type questions that I could assist with on the Mesa end.
Just to clarify, you mentioned that if you've previously done an application, it has to be for fall of 2020. It can't be, because I think I was in the same situation when I got my associates. I applied for the CSU program. I was denied through San Diego State, but that was, again, 2018. So I don't think that would carry over. I'd have to reapply.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Let's see.
Zolma?
Another question. If you have a second associates, would you be able to get your associates from Mesa and get your bachelor's from the program?
Yes. So as long as you meet the minimum admission requirements for the business administration major, you would be able to be admitted to the program.
Okay, so you would get both. Got it. Thank you.
You mean 2 associates, right?
Yeah, because I have all my credits for an associate's in business as well as in psychology, which would be a part of, going to get my degree with you guys. But I was wondering if you could still I would still be able to get the psychology associates as well as do this program.
Yeah, well, that's a Mesa question, right? Yes, there's some criteria for a second degree, but if you have, taken all those classes, we would have to look it over, and I think I put my call and my phone number in the chat. We can look that over. Just like you have to have 60 units and an additional 18, but when you have an ADT, like the criteria is a little bit different. It's a little bit more flexible. So you could have the best of both worlds, which is like, that's a great combination. Two really impacted majors right there.
Yes.
All right, let's see. I don't know. Well, there's like crickets right now.
Casey, let me add something. You know, we recently did a survey of our current online students to determine the level of satisfaction with the program. And I want to let everyone know that it came out very, very, very high. The students are very much enjoying the courses. They're enjoying the course developers, the faculty who create them, as well as the interaction with the facilitators who deliver the course on a day-to-day basis. And as was noted earlier, please keep in mind you are getting an SDSU degree. It's nothing that says this is online. The courses are pretty much very similar to what you would have in our regular general business program. And again, the students seem very, very happy with the program. They're enjoying it. They're enjoying the level of instruction. They're enjoying the academic quality, the rigor. So everything's been very, very positive. So if you have any concerns about, well, you know, is this going to be a watered down degree? No, not at all. You'll find it challenging. You'll find it rewarding. And I think you'll find it, you enjoy the process of getting your degree this way.
And also I wanted to mention, like, these are all the same faculty members as the face-to-face, correct?
The bulk of them are. We have a few, for example, we have a few faculty members, well, one or two who were faculty and transferred to other universities, but they were very good at online teaching, so we retained them. In one or two cases, we went to, like our finance professor, we went to someone who had a really strong reputation for online teaching and finance, and we actually used him in the courses. The vast majority are San Diego State professors or lecturers who do the facilitating. We do have a few from outside the university, but that's based on their expertise.
There's some really good questions in the chat that I don't know if I could answer.
There, I see one. Is there an option to be enrolled in the SDSU Microsite Business Administration major and also double major? At this point, no. When you're admitted to the online program, you are admitted to that program only and that major only. In the future, there may be a model that allows for that, but as of right now, the mechanisms just aren't available. It's a single major. So as Dr. Belch mentioned earlier, it's a general business administration degree, and that's the content in the courses that you'll be enrolled in.
Casey, I might add, we're looking at adding a major in marketing.
Yes, thank you.
And if that gets added, a lot of you who are coming into the program could consider that major as well, because some of the initial courses that you're going to do will be your courses, core courses that would apply to any particular major. So if we do add additional courses, that's something that you could look at. And if you said, well, rather than general business, I wanted to consider more specific major as we add them, depending on how quickly you're moving through the program, that might become an option.
Yeah, that's a great point to make. Thank you, Dr. Belch. So as we offer more online majors and programs, there may be flexibility, like Dr. Belch said, to move from the business administration online program to a future online marketing program. At this point, I know we've seen some questions. I think they've been addressed, but I want to just clarify again. At this point, you cannot be admitted to the online program and then switch to the face-to-face program. But as we offer more online degrees, you may be able to, as long as you meet the admissions requirements for the other program, you may be able to request that your admission is switched to another online program if you meet the eligibility requirements.
And then the question about history or psychology, I know there's like upper division general ed courses students have to take. Would those be options if they're offered online? I don't know. I wanted to address Michelle's question.
Thank you. I'm looking at that right now as well.
Sorry.
No, good. I didn't see that one just yet. So right now there are 9 units of upper division explorations GE courses that all SDSU students need to take. And the courses that are part of the business administration program are a nutrition course, a philosophy course, and a recreation and tourism management course. As we build out more of these online degree programs, we may be working with other departments to increase the options for those. But at this time, those are the three GE courses that are offered to satisfy that requirement.
And if I might add, those courses are there for specific reasons, because for these upper division electives, the university has specific requirements in areas such as natural sciences or a cultural requirement. And so those courses were picked to make sure that we were fulfilling those particular requirements, not to try to be restrictive, but just to make sure that students met what was needed to get through and get their degree.
Yeah, and those courses are also chosen to help with the business curriculum as much as possible. So, you know, there's a large selection of explorations GE courses available in the SDSU catalog, but those three specifically, like Dr. Belch mentioned, were satisfy or selected to meet the requirements, but also try to align as closely with the business curriculum. I think the tourism management course has to do with managing tourism. So we tried to align them as much as possible when we designed the program to supplement the business curriculum.
Yeah, if I could add, like the tourism courses, here's a good example. It's cross-cultural tourism. So that helps meet the cultural requirement. And then the philosophy course is actually a business ethics. It's really an ethics class. That's very, very relevant, of course. I mean, you know, almost every university today wants students educated in the area of ethics, and you'll take a one unit class there, but this also strengthens your background in business ethics.
On the portion where you mentioned that this is a general business degree, but there might be possibility for other programs or more emphasis later on. How would that work? So if we're apply for the general business and say a marketing or a management emphasis is released, we'd be able to apply for that emphasis and then kind of change our course accordingly?
Yes, I mean, what you would do, you would just file a form called a change of major. The key thing would be making you aware of the course requirements. The course requirements might be different for a marketing degree than they would for a general business degree. So we would want to make sure that students considering transferring over their major within the program were very aware of what the course requirements are. So they clearly had an understanding of what they were doing moving into a new major.
And if we were to complete the program as a general business major, but we wanted to pursue an emphasis later on, what would be required there? How would that work?
Once you complete the major and you're awarded your degree from SDSU, at this point you cannot earn a second bachelor's unless it is in nursing. So once you complete your degree and you are no longer in an admitted status, you can take additional courses through what SDSU calls Open University. So if you were interested in taking additional courses in marketing or another topic area, just for personal or career enrichment, you can do that through Open University, but you would not be able to apply for a second bachelor's degree at SDSU unless it's in nursing.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I wanted to just quickly introduce our, I don't know where she is in the screen, but our Vice President, there she is, Dr. Shanti Hands, of the Vice President of Student Services of San Diego Mesa College, has joined us, and like Superwoman is here, and I just wanted to welcome you to our conversation and let everybody, all the students and our friends at SDSU know that you've joined us. So thank you for taking the time out of your day. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Anne. I've been listening and I'm so excited about what I'm hearing. There are so many great questions, even greater responses. I'm excited about the level of enthusiasm, engagement, and this partnership is incredible. We are so happy to be able to participate in it. And so I look forward to seeing many of the names that I see, names and faces on the screen, joining us in the fall. And we look forward to supporting you in partnership with SDSU on this new journey and process. So thank you all for engaging. This has been very informative for me to be able to join you. So thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And I'll send you the PowerPoint and the FAQs and everything.
I saw a quick question about an internship requirement. At this time, there isn't an internship requirement. There is consideration being given to actually adding an optional internship course, and that might be considered in the future.
I was just going to say, for some of those shy students, there's still time. I think we're going to plan to wrap up pretty soon. I don't know about like everybody's availability, but you still have time. I know I get a lot of questions like afterwards, you know, on email, but you have like the experts here right now to answer any more questions that you might have in a direct answer. So if you can always put the message in the chat. I think we've found that everybody's questions have been super helpful to the entire group. So please feel free to either just unmute yourself or throw that question in there. Otherwise, I think, I mean, I don't know how much, I know everybody has somewhere else to go, but I think we were set to wrap up around 11. So if anybody else, this is your chance.
Just wanted to say thank you all. This is very exciting. Hope to see you in the fall if everything works out.
Thanks, Loma. Thanks for attending.
Thank you.
All right, let's see. It's that awkward Zoom moment when everybody's waiting. Well, I'm glad it was helpful to all of you. And like I said, we'll, I talked to Jacqueline, we'll email this out to the attendees so they can get like a thorough overview of everything in case they missed something. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, be an Aztec, that's awesome. Let's see. And I think the resources are gonna, like the PowerPoint with all the contact information will be on the Mesa website, and the FAQs like I mentioned. So if you guys have a last minute question or something you thought about after, you can access all these people to answer those questions as well. But I'm gonna turn it over to you, Casey.
Okay, I just wanted to thank everybody for your time today and for joining the Microsite info session and for your really thoughtful questions. We're really excited about this partnership. I know Dr. Belch and his team with the Fowler College of Business are also really excited. And we look forward to having you all in the pilot inaugural Microsite intake. So again, like Ann said, is we posted on the SDSU World Campus webpage as well. So feel free to reach out to us if you have any additional questions as you sit and you think about what we talked about today and anything else that might come up. Again, just wanted to remind everybody the application deadline is the 30th of May. So a couple more days, so you have a little bit more time. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Otherwise, thank you. It was great to see you all today and meet you and be able to share this exciting program. And thank you, Anne, for organizing all of this on your end. I know it's a lot of work that goes into putting something like this on, so I appreciate the work that you and your team have done to get this together.
Oh, and thank you guys all for being available and all the beautiful marketing materials and everything. And I want to thank again all the students who are still here for participating and Dr. Hands for joining us. Let's see, there was a quick question. What if you have to put a semester on hold? Can you like get back into the program if you start? Can you get back in? Sorry, there's always a good question that comes at the last minute.
If you are admitted, and Tanya and Dr. Belch, please correct me if I'm wrong, but if you are admitted, you would need to attend your first semester. And then if you need to take a leave of absence in the subsequent semester, you need to just file the appropriate leave of absence documents and forms to request that. And I think there is a limit to how many leaves of absence or terms you can request that for. But if you are admitted, you do need to attend your first semester to maintain your admission status. And then you can file the paperwork to have a leave of absence and get that approved through the normal process.
Yes, that's correct, but it is very important that you follow those leave of absences. If you don't follow that, then you could end up being disqualified from the program.
Okay, there were some questions about the application. So for other students, like it gets really confusing in the application. If you Google CSU apply, and a lot of times it pops up, it's going to default you to spring of 2021, and then you only get like Cal State San Marcos. So you have to go to the Cal State Apply website and actually like choose fall of 2020. And then another way it will default you to Cal State San Marcos is if you choose the lower than 60 units option versus 60 or more, or upper division transfer, or transferring with an ADT. I've gotten a few private questions about that one, so I just wanted to clarify. But hope that helps there.
Okay, I think we maybe covered everything. Well,
I think so too.
Yeah, with that, and again, please feel free to follow up with us. Tanya and Mark's contact information is listed in the slides, as well as on the World Campus Mesa Microsite webpage. So feel free to reach out if anything, you know, if you just missed a question or something comes up later on. We're happy to answer any questions you have.
Okay, great. Well, I think I'll just go ahead and end the meeting. I always feel so like uncomfortable, like end for all, but I'm gonna like give a countdown or something. So, all right. Well, thanks again, everybody, for joining us. I really appreciate this time, and thank you to SDSU for being available. And you know, this was a great collaboration. So, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay,
everyone.
thanks, and I'll end it right now. Bye.
Bye.